I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. We have been looking at Ruth and some other women in the Bible. Welcome to the Global Church Without Borders. I wish to continue more on these Bible studies online, and I would like you to subscribe, share with others. A lot of you are discouraged. You no longer go to church. Every pastor looks like a criminal before you. I just wish that you could have a place like this to study the Bible without conditions attached. The global church without borders, without regulation, regimentation, and routine. On the 21st of December, I have a global webinar coming up. People from several countries do register. We're going to be looking at opportunities and possibilities in this dispensation, particularly 2026 onwards. So send a message to +234 80 21 21 92 62. The time is 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and the 21st of February. And you can subscribe for the program, and it will be recorded so that you can always go to the link to listen to it if you are at work. We want to look at how Naomi and Ruth were transformed. Remember, I said that the Bible says that no descendant of a Moabitess shall enter the temple until the 10th generation. That is a 300-year ban. And that is in Deuteronomy 23, verse 3. Okay. Naomi was in a desperate, shattered, and battered situation. But she heard, verse 6, when she heard in Moab that the Lord had come to the aid of his people by providing food for them, Naomi and her daughters-in-law prepared to return home from there. So information is very important. In this dispensation, information is very important. And I've said over and over, when you hear an information, internalize it, take it in, analyze it. After analyzing, personalize it, then set out to actualize it. Then it turns to knowledge. Information that has been actualized is knowledge. And it's by knowledge that the rooms of a house are filled. That is, your life is transformed, filled. So she heard, then she acted by preparing to go back home. I don't know where you are. I don't know how you have deviated from the Lord. I don't know how you have left your father's principles, your mother's principles. The prodigal son came to a realization, had an inspiration, an intuition to go back home to the father. One of the problems why people remain stagnated is that they are too afraid, too ashamed, too dumb. They think they've gone too far to go back to where they can be restored. There is no harm in starting afresh if where you have gotten to is not where you are supposed to be. I have traveled to Calabar with my friend, and we missed the turning at Udukpani, and we were heading towards Ogoja. We had gotten very far. We saw that everything was changing. The buildings were changing, thatch houses around No, we asked a question, and they said we missed Udukpani junction far behind, and we drove another long distance to reach that place, and we headed back to Aba. You have not gone too far to turn back. You are into internet fraud, you are into hookup, you are into drug addiction, you are into occultism. It's not too late for you to go back, as you have heard from me. And so she decided to go back. With her 2 daughters-in-law, she left the place where she had been living and set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Judah means praise. Live where you are. I had to leave Abba at a point. I needed to come back to Willie here to reconfigure my life. When I'm going back to Abana, I go back as a celebrity. But I had to leave medical practice after 15 years, after 17 or 18 years of training and internship and national youth service, to come and start afresh. So don't be ashamed, don't be too discouraged to start afresh. Somebody type there, I have not gone too far to turn back. I have not gone too far to start all over again. I will not be afraid or ashamed. I will not care what people will say. I will reconfigure and I will rebuild my life. That's what I did. And I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad. When I see some of the hospitals my colleagues used to run, even the biggest ones were admired, I thank God I left and I came back home. So she prepared to return from there to the land of Judah. Now Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness. May the Lord show kindness to you as you have shown to your dead and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband. She was already dismissing them, sending them away. You see, when things get tough, some people are disposable. They want to shed you off. When companies have financial challenges, no matter how you have served them, they want to shed you off. They want to lay you off. But your reaction will determine what will happen in your life. So go back, each of you. She was already wishing them other husbands. She didn't care the 10 years they had been barren. So if they married at 18, they will have been 28. If they married at 20, they will have been 30. People don't care when companies want to dispose of it. They don't care. When people want to walk away from it, they don't care. When some women want to leave marriages, they don't care. Some husbands want to throw you away because of another girl. They don't care. That's the truth of the matter. And she even acknowledged their commitment to their husbands. Then she kissed them, and they wept aloud and said, we will go back with you to your people. I am not an emotional person, very emotional person. I shed tears, but that's an Igbo saying, that he who is crying also knows the road. So, return home, my daughters. Why will you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who should become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband. But even if I had another husband and give birth to a child today, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters. It is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has gone out against me. You see, Ruth Naomi asked questions in the physical realm. She looked at her age. She looked at her situation. She looked at the impossibilities of these women remarrying. Orpah followed the answers to the human questions, and she arrived at a conclusion of impossicatum, impossible for her to marry. Orpah looked at the facts, looked at the data, but Ruth looked at the truth. It is the truth that is the nature of God. It is an understanding of the ways of God. It is an understanding of who God is, that with him nothing is impossible, and that with God his ways are not our ways. And so she was looking at the physical realm of their having to have husbands and have children. But Ruth saw possibilities of what God can do outside routine, regimentation, regularity. You see, if I had looked at the circumstances surrounding me the time I decided to come here, if not for the visions I had when I was younger, I would have been discouraged. But thank God that my wife accepted to follow me. You see, God had greater plans. I want you to join me in this confession. God has better plans for me. Write it there. God will do what he will do for me in his own way, in his own time. He will do what he will do for me, through me, in a mysterious way. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered the heart of Naomi what God was about to do for Ruth. So I have seen God do mysterious, impossible things. I am AS, my wife is AS, we had 4 children, we don't have sicklers. God has helped me. And so, at this they wept. Then Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. Loyalty is key. Commitment is key. When I see all these former PDP governors decamping to APC, the same people that said APC is a satanic party, all of them are decamping. They are not principled people. They are not loyal. They are not committed. They have not bonded. Ruth took marriage beyond husband, beyond just commitment, loyalty. She took it to the level of amalgamation. When you take a bimetallic strip of copper and iron, when you hit them, when the iron is bending, the copper will bend. When the copper is bending, the bonding, fusion. Today's marriages in the UK and in America is just selfishness. They want to take the houses, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do that. Somebody sent me a message, the things the wife has taken from her. I was wondering, did you ever tell this man you love this man? What is kind of rubbish form of marriages? Orpah went back to her people and her gods. So it was not just a movement back, it was backsliding to her people, their culture. I think their god is called Molech. She went to the worship of Molech, to their culture and their tradition. So, but Ruth said, no, Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, prophetic. Your God will be my God, conversion. Where you die, I will die, declaration of the future. And there I will be buried, faith. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separate you and me. When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. Listen, life will discourage you. Circumstances will discourage you. Your challenges, personal challenges will discourage you. Your inadequacies will discourage you. My handwriting, very bad. I didn't pass English very well. I don't speak well. I'm a very shy person, sometimes very timid. But I was determined to become who I am today. Determined. There was poverty. There was no graduate from our home. All kinds of things. Lack. Determination. When life sees that you are determined, life will leave you alone. When God sees that you are determined, He will say, come, I will help you. When Noah saw that the snail was determined to enter the ark, Noah picked the snail and put in the ark and put it somewhere that elephant will not trample upon it. Many of you are not consistent enough, are not determined enough, are not driven enough. You are easily discouraged. And so she stopped urging her to go back. So the two women went on until they came to Bethlehem. Listen, that declaration of Ruth suspended the law of Deuteronomy 23 verse 3. All the curses God put on the Moabites, that no descendant of the Moabites shall enter the temple until the 10th generation, was suspended. That's why I am very angry with all these curses and covenants program, raising new altars, going to village to check one thing and one thing. No. I come from a very idolatrous background. If you enter my two compounds, you will be scared. My maternal side, my paternal side. But I have left my people, their culture, their tradition, their gods, and their practices. And I have clung to Jehovah through Jesus Christ. Oh, you will come here, oh, an educated man. You abandoned Africa, you abandoned this. What did your gods do when you were taken into slavery? All this poverty and dirtiness and whatever that is in Africa, you should be ashamed of this, your gods. You should be ashamed of your gods. No wonder they live in bushes. No wonder. You will tell me that Israel was taken into captivity. I agree with you. But each time, God brought them back with His mighty hand. And they went into captivity because of iniquity. So, make sure you cling to God. Make sure you tell God, I will never leave you unless you bless me. Make sure you tell God that I will never allow a Naomi to discourage me. I will not allow her misfortune create a misfortune for me. Oh, medicine is very difficult. Oh, the person that went to read medicine for our village failed. My elder brother told me that. And I told him, if two people will pass in my class, I'll be one of them. And I went through medical school. I never had a carryover. I borrowed books. I borrowed clothes. I didn't eat well. And I am here. Oh, if you don't run a church. I don't run a church. And I'm here. If you don't do this, no. Don't let somebody's syllabus determine the schedule of your life. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. Remember the webinar that is coming up on the 21st of February, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Remember to send the message to +234 80 21 21 92 62 via WhatsApp, and we have properties for sale. God bless you.